about this so people understand. Hopefully, the appropriate authorities understand how serious this thing is. We've been talking about this problem for years on. It comes every year, it goes every year. We keep crying, keep shouting, keep complaining on social media, on radio, everywhere we talk. Meanwhile, we still have the same approach. The approach doesn't change. There's nothing new, there's nothing different, there's nothing. At the moment, we have a flood committee. We've had flood committees in the past. And the approach we've always taken has been a one that's reactive. That's the approach we've always applied. It is always how we can mitigate what the flood has done to people. It is not always what can we do to stop this from happening again. It's always about, okay, that happened. Let's provide where they will sleep. Give them something to eat. Give share. And that has been the step. It's almost as though you begin to force yourself to ask questions like, are we really going to sit down and think about how can we do? We are not as bad as the Netherlands. Let me say that now. We are not as bad as the Netherlands. Now, in the Netherlands, Holland, many people might not know this. Holland is not the name of the country, please. All right. It's one of the cities or provinces or states, however they call it. Holland in the Netherlands is actually way below sea level. We're not even as bad as they are. And they had suffered the problem of floodings and all of these things for a while until they sat down and thought about how can we, what can we do? How should we? I don't want to say that some people have better brains than other people, but I think it is time for us to wake up and begin to really critically look at our approach to things. It has to change. It has to stop. It has to change. Right now, the flood is currently chasing people out of their houses. I don't want to talk about flash floods, which I feel should have been the easiest one for us to handle. Flash flood is basically the simplest one for us to tackle. But let's not come to that first. Let's look at what the flood in itself is doing, starting with what we had on the news from Aoda, which is a constant. Aoda West, to be specific. You see that Aoda West close to the Mbiama Bayelsa boundary area. It's a constant. You see that one? Constant. It is a constant. The rising waters, what it does to people is annual. It is every year. So, had the lawmakers representing those people at the National Assembly, at the state, are they saying that they are not trying to come together and move motions and get the attention of government to see that something more permanent can be done to address this problem? Let's not even talk about just Rivers State. It is in Nigeria. You see what happens in parts of the north, whether it's in Jigawa, whether it's in parts of Benue. And it happens every year. I'm not saying it happens once in 10, every single year. The question is, how come the same thing is happening every single year and we have never thought, or maybe they think, but we don't know what they think, yet we have not seen something decisive happen? There's ecological fund. There is other funds set aside for handling disasters of this nature. There are projects that government should even embark on to help tackle this problem. So what is so difficult about looking at a different approach to say, rather than always putting up a committee and what we end up doing is trying to see how we can help people live through the flood, as though the flood, we saw nothing we can do about it, we can't solve it, it's just we have to be living with it. How did the Netherlands solve that? How did Holland solve their own? What did they do that we are saying we can't do? How did Venice solve its own? What did they do that we are saying the disaster the flood caused on the East-West Road, how many years ago? Till today, we have not been able to finish the road. Meanwhile, in Jamaica, the hurricane that hit them last year, They had built back the poles, constructed back the roads, and finished. We've not had that level of disaster in Nigeria. We've not, and we to pray to God we never will. At least geographically speaking, from where we are located, unless anything changes. And they recently got hit by another hurricane, Melissa, just two days ago. Landfall 2 days ago, I think. And it's a disaster, and it ended up destroying everything that they had put back. Now, at that level, they know there's nothing they can do. Geographically and with technology, they were able to tell that this kind of disaster is coming. And with the wind and with how the waves are moving, this is going to land here. Anyways, let's migrate people. It is understandable because there's nothing they can do to stop that. At least for now, there's no technology that is available to tackle that one. And I'm pretty sure the more it continues, people are going to begin to think about tech that they can put and ideas that can help solve that problem, because it is not difficult to do. In parts of Japan, where earthquakes are becoming huge problems, they are beginning to build houses that can withstand earthquakes. Can you imagine? How come here in this country, I don't want to just keep it to River State, so it doesn't look like somebody says what you're saying or you're attacking government, because that's how we approach everything. And I think that's why we don't get anything right in this country, because you say something, you're trying to put out what is real, what is fact. Somebody is saying you want to make the government look bad. You're attacking the government. That's what we are most concerned about, the image of government. However, there's a problem that needs to be solved. Can we say that we are doing enough, or when are we going to see some decisive measures that is different from the regular thing we have been seeing, which is give mosquito net, give food, find IDP camp that we don't even build properly, we just convert a school or one place and put people to stay there for a couple of weeks. When the water goes down, they'll come back and continue their lives, and even after that we don't take proper care of them. They're on record, it is said that we donated this, we donated that. People's houses were destroyed. Who will build it back for them? Nobody. These people would manage to build back those houses, then the houses will be destroyed again the next year, because as a people, as a government, we're not thinking of what should we be doing to stop this from happening the next year. So the cycle continues every single year, and people are living in fact, I remember one time I went to Alda to talk to these people. They had given up, they are tired, they were even upset at us. They don't talk to us again, because you come and talk to us, you go, this same thing continues, the same method, the same approach. How can old ways open new doors? What do we need to do? Or are we saying we are stuck with this and there's never going to be a time where we can solve this problem? Is that what we're saying? Look at the Orashi region. That's a big problem. That's for the flood itself. Then when you talk of flash floods, when it rains, what happens? The flash flood problem is not new. People begin to make excuses with China, that it happens in the US too, parts of the US. No, the amount of rain that falls in the US that causes that kind of flash flood is not the same with what we have here. Let's be honest with ourselves. Because of our geographic location, we are quite different. So enough of us making excuses with the US or with Korea or China or Japan. No, we've never had tsunamis here now. We would never have anything close to that. The kind of rains those people experience in those parts. Do we have wildfires here? We don't. We don't have those. Imagine if we can't handle the kind of rain we have here and properly look at how we can upgrade our method, our approach to tackling this problem. I hear that the Obiakpo Council chairman had put up mechanism or cleaning of drainages and all of that stuff. It's fantastic idea. It's great. But where are these drainages connected to? I've said times and time without number that we don't have drainages really in this River State. If you ask me, in many parts of River State at least, we don't have drainages. We have gutters. I think that's what I would say we have. Let's put it that way. We have gutters. Have you seen what the East-West Road does from the parts of the Emoha axis? If you are coming, there's no single drainage. There's no gutter. Let me not even say drainage. There's no gutter. Are we saying that the original design of that road did not allow for gutter? So when it rains, what happens is, and the road is high, the houses are on the side. When it rains, it means everything just flows down to people's compounds. And they are shouting, they are coming down, commission. I don't understand, because I'm seeing similar roads in other parts of African countries, and you're looking at the details with the design, the construction, and you're wondering, how come we do a whole road like this? We don't even have gutter. Look at this West Road now, many sections of it now, no gutters. Then the places in Port Harcourt town that we say let's have drainage system, we don't have drainage, because you call it a drain in the sense that it collects the water, channels it somewhere to a bigger water body, possibly a river or a lake, depending on what's close. That's what it means. Drainage is from the word drain. So a system that absorbs the water, collects it in a very organized pattern. Do we have it? Now that you understand the meaning, do we have it? We don't. We have gutters. So the flash flood is a problem, and even the gutters we have are blocked. So when are we going to see some decisive step? Not should we even say declare what's the word now? There's a word they use for it. Oh, goodness me. Skip my head. It's almost as though, yes, the government is putting in effort or doing something, but the intensity of whatever effort they are putting doesn't feel like the government is hurt or feels bad about the fact that annually people suffer this thing. If we have elections coming, you know the kind of effort they put in campaigns now. You see how they go from village to village. You see the effort. You can feel it. Nobody will tell you. You will just feel it that this is campaign season. You will feel it. It is in the air. You don't feel it like that when they are tackling this flood problem. I think that's a better way to help you understand what I'm trying to say. Since the word I'm looking for isn't coming to my head now. It doesn't feel that way. Outer West, Akinima precisely. It's now almost a way of life. You can't blame council chairman to a large degree, because there's only little a council chairman can do. How much is he making? How much is coming in a month from that local government? How much are they generating internally? How much you think for him to embark on a huge project to tackle that problem? Because to tackle that problem requires a lot of money. A lot of money. And think about it. If the past 3 administrations had seen this and had a plan and designed a good plan, and everybody was putting doing part by part of that plan, implementing, we would have gone far by now. We would have gone really far. But guess what? It doesn't work like that because of the kind of politics we play. And unfortunately, no matter how much you shout, we seem not to learn, including the followers of these political leaders. We seem not to learn. We seem not to understand. Because if the past 3 administrations, I'm just looking from the Dr. Peter Odili administration, had seen this problem and know the cost implications of it. But okay, get experts who survey the area, look at the area. What can we do? What can we build? What do we need to do? And this is what we need to do on paper. This is what it's going to cost. And we begin to put money aside. And this person do part A. This one comes in his time, continues with that plan, do part B. Another person comes, continues. At least it would have been helping to tackle the problem. However, as it stands, we are still dealing. To think that after how many years of this flood situation in that community, in that axis, I'm using that as an example because, I've gone to speak with people there and I understand how they feel. And even the words that they say to me. So that's why I'm using them as an example, not to say that there are no other areas. We all know the areas that are affected by this flood situation. But to think that this is happening year after year after year after year, and the approach we still use till now is set up a committee, we give out mosquito net, we share food, we get a place people will sleep, and then we do that, and then the flood goes. We now say, we are trying to do reintegration plan, and then we would say, we shared for farmers, we share stem, for this we did that, and that's it again. And then next year the flood comes again, and the same cycle. When the question is, when are we going to see something different? A step that people will look at and say, yes, government is out to address this problem, not just to react to it, but to stop it or prevent it or minimize it from happening again. After the commercial, we'll come back and take your calls. Good morning.
Okay, let's do
All right, 8:08 is what the time is. Good morning. My name is Ifiemi Andrew. We're getting back into the conversation. The flood situation is a concern. What is happening in Aoda West and other parts of Rivers State affected by flood is a huge worry. However, we know that the flood committee headed by the deputy governor has been working and doing the best that it can do within its capacity. Howbeit reactive, there's need to begin to ask the question, when are we going to move beyond that and let the people begin to see something tangible, something more urgent to address the flood problem, and not wait for the flood to begin to displace people and we apply the same old tactics that we usually apply? How about we do something different? What should we be doing differently? That's the question. And before I go to the phone and take the calls now, it's also fair that as it concerns this flood situation, I've been talking about the government, the people, you two, you have a problem. We, not you, we have a problem. Because I always make an example with Mercyland area, because I pass there sometimes and I observe. Although one time it was great to see the residents of that area come out and started digging their gutters. And another mistake people make, you dig gutters, you drop the things you dig out of the gutters by the gutter, by the side, occupying the road, number one, causing traffic, number two, and worst is everything you dug out begins to go back into the gutter over time when it rains and so on and so forth. It's great. I also saw people on the NTA road axis also digging their gutters. I don't know if that was the one that was put together by the council chairman, because there's an operation ongoing in Obiakpo by the council chairman to empty drainages, desilt them. But the people, please, you also have a business. I think clearing the gutter should be a weekly thing. If we can't say a daily thing, it should be a weekly thing. And I don't think you should wait for government. If there are 6 of you having shops or houses in front of a gutter, sometimes these shops are situated illegally, but because people want to make extra money, you allow it. Somebody built something, there's a fence there. Before you know, somebody will come and knock wood there by the fence and start and do another wood across the gutter. And that's it, that's a shop. If there are 10 of you lined up like that, you can't be selling there, looking at a gutter in front of you filled with sand. You see some people, the gutter is filled, the rain is falling, the water is not flowing, the level of the water is rising. They will just put wood and sit there looking at this thing. Their business is being overtaken by water. They will not say, let us contribute, get people to come and dig this thing. There are things that we have to do for ourselves sometimes. Like the attitude, the approach is really bad. It's poor. It's really bad. It's not, and I keep saying it's not because that people in other parts of the world are so good, but the attitude and approach of majority of Nigerians is the reason why our country is also where it is. Because if we have certain kind of attitude, or more people develop the right attitude, we will not even have certain kind of leaders in the first place. I keep making an example with Abia State, Umuahia North. I'm saying this because I stayed there for a while. At the time where people felt like the governor of Umuahia, Abia State, wasn't doing well, it was Uchendo, popularly called Uchendo Global at the time. This was in 2013 to 2014, 2012, 2013 to 2014. I was in Abia State, Umuahia North. But you know one thing I noticed? The drainage system was so good. I'm telling you, I'm not even joking. You see the drains, the gutters, were so deep. I'm about 6'4", 6'5", right? I can stand in the drainage, it would almost swallow me. I'm telling you, like, how deep it is and how well connected the gutters were. If you live in the World Bank area, you will see it was at the World Bank area you find a canal where the water collected by the various gutters connect together, and then they empty at a canal in the World Bank area. Fimbas, people that know that area know what I'm talking. If you are living around there, you will hear the sound. Behind that, there's a UBA. Behind that UBA, inside, you will hear the sound if it's raining and then it's collecting water. You will hear the water moving, how they are moving from the... How can I explain this thing for you to understand? It is not like that here now. It's not like that. It was one thing I gave them kudos for. And guess what? They had task force. So the task force you're even seeing now in Aba, that is full go to. I saw the task force sensitizing people, going to markets, talking to people. They did not go to the market and throw people things away like we do here in River State. We go to because the game task force as you come is to go and begin to throw away people things of people and find how to collect money. The task force went to the market. They were talking to people. And I think I have to go to Aba again and do a content with that. Do you see the guys talking to people, telling the people in the market, no, speaking Igbo, for those that were speaking Igbo, and say, don't throw things, and telling the women why they shouldn't, the gutters, and how it was mandated for them to be clearing their gutters in front of them, don't allow any dirt. That thing they are doing now in Aba, they've been doing it in Umuahia as at that 2013, I'm talking to you. There were people that were, if they come to front of your shop and there was dirt in the gutter they go pick you, then go carry you for boss. I'm not exaggerating. It was that serious. And anybody that lived in the Finbas World Bank area, you know what I'm saying. In that time, as well as much as people criticized that the government at that time, but in this area was so good. How come our gutters we even have here in parts of Port Harcourt? I don't know how deep they are. So the people, there's a lot we need to do. How are we making sure that the gutters in front of our businesses are clean and no dirt, no sand inside? The people that they give work to sweep road, how come there's no other place you can sweep and pack your whatever? Would you have to sweep it and pour it? You see them now come to Oberikere, you see them, they will sweep the sand, walk to the gutter, pour it inside. We are all part of this problem. However, the government has a larger share of it because it is government that can stand and decide to say this must work. Like in Aba, it is working now. So it's because they have a governor that has said this thing, we must do it, and has put in place the mechanism to ensure that that thing is properly implemented. And the people who are employed to do their job are going about making sure every day. It's so shocking that a keke person say, that pure water they drink, no throw away outside, they'll give me. The guy dropped it in his keke. He's saying if you throw away outside now, task force go loss. Then they're everywhere. It was also another form of employment because what it meant is that a lot of youths are now engaged and they were getting stipends. It's not a job for a long term, but at least they have something they're engaged in now. They're getting stipends. It's like and it was why I commended the Roma boss, someone of CK, when he made the announcement that they were going to recruit. Well, because I'm saying, so sanitation, you need these guys, you need a lot of people. Sanitation to clean Port Harcourt here, River State, just say Port Harcourt, Obiakpo. You need a lot of people that have to be on ground, have to be on the streets, monitoring people. You can't just dump something, you can't just throw anything anywhere you like because you are on the road. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. You can also call 0817-923-0007. Again, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. and 0817-923-0002. Let's go to Ubimini. Ezekiel is there right now. Is calling. Ezekiel, good morning.
Good morning, Ifiemi Andrew.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Ifiemi, you have analyzed it all. You have educated us and also let us know the problem we are having concerning this flood issue. Ifiemi, but let me ask, how far is the federal government for now arranging and preparing for the future flood?
I don't think they are.
And how far has our second lady, deputy governor, has gone with this flood issue before now? You see, I'm saying that Kuno gate, when the goats have already escaped out of that gate. And it is not a just as I've said it all for contribution's sake, Mr. T. Nothing against say concerning this flood. It is very, very unfortunate and shameful. And that had there been some of these authorities concerning this flood issue are experiencing what the less privileged are experiencing, I don't think that they will leave this issue more important. Let me put it in that way. And I will also say that this to the sort of representatives, the assembly, and the reps members, even senators. Let leave governor alone for this, because he is not the one tackle what is happening in every nooks and crannies in River State. Thank you very much.
All right, Ezekiel, thank you. Ida from Nkoro, good morning.
Andrew, good morning. Please, the canal in River State is our problem. Go to GRA now. You will see those canals, grass, everything. Let them clean up those canals. Go to D-Line, the same thing. So the state government should please clean up those canals. There are people in River State, please. When it is raining, I see people go and throw dead inside water, inside the gutter. That will block the gutter now. Then people are surrounding, then pack all the dead, just like what he said. You clean gutter, you keep the sand there. They were in for children now wash the sand into the gutter again. I doing clean up. You are not helping yourself. Everything should not be government. Please, we should help ourselves. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Ida. Go to Rumokoro Market and see that canal, that area, and see what market people are doing there. Go to Eliozu area and see what is happening. There's a canal inside that area too. You see where sometimes you are wondering, you're asking, like, are we sure we are thinking rightly? And there are council chairmen that should come up with ideas. Sometimes I don't blame the people 100% or even 50%. I think the people might have 30% of the blame. You have council chairmen that should see these things and set up mechanism. That's why you are government. That's why you have more power. That is why after God is government. That is why you have the powers you have. There are mechanisms that you should be able to set up and enforce certain discipline that would ensure that these things are corrected. However, what do we have? You have the big men that have connection, the politicians. Some of the so-called lawmakers have lands in canals that are now causing problem. They have bought certain places, refilled it, claimed it, built on top, and then their person is governor, their person is in charge of Ministry of Lands and Survey, or their person is in urban and regional planning, and you cannot do the right thing. It's your man now. You people are shaking hands together, so you can't destroy his house. You can't bring it down, and you can't. And everything is just a mess. It's a big. If we don't wake up and do what is right, understand something. We are below sea level too. Might not be as bad as the Netherlands or Holland rather, but we are below sea level too. And if we continue on this path, Emeka Inelele, good morning. All right, Zion is in GRA. Good morning, Zion.
The issue of flooding in the Niger Delta region is as simple as what we have preferred solution. I have even preferred the solution, but they don't listen. They don't. This thing we are calling, go clean your gutter, go clean canal. Are we joking? The last time I heard, a group of people went to clean a canal for flooding to go. The deputy governor was there. So, come on. Are we joking here? Are we creating content for the world to laugh at us? Until the federal government dredged the River Niger to a standard and specification I have preferred and other professionals have preferred, we will keep having this problem. You just made mention of Abia State, the World Bank. Do you know that the construction company that was engaged to draw and narrow those gutters or those drainages took a study from Anambra State against the gully erosion going on there? And they said, look, we don't want this to happen here. We don't have much land. Here in River State, who are those that designed your gutter or your drainages? Is the construction company. You don't do that, it's a failure. So what will they do? They'll just dig somewhere. These people are looking for money. Nothing else. Until we have professionals who can narrow and structure your drainages. Is this one going to Ntawaba? Is this one going to the one in Emeliosu? Is this one going there? You have professionals to do this job. Sir, let me put it to you. Every year, this flooding issue will affect you, and you will not do anything. Government will not do anything. If they so like you, they give you rice. If you don't want to eat the rice,
you go. Zion, thank you very much. JJ Rumi, go to I think it's Rumi Boabi, if I'm not mistaken. Abi Olu. Good morning, JJ. Go ahead.
Okay, you want to talk about Polo?
The road that is where you have the Casablanca area. That road, how bad, and when it rains, the flood. Even people that live in duplexes.
Talking about the Polo on East West Road.
Yes.
You know, at the time, I followed that job when the Minister of Niger Delta was doing that job. They did underground drainage down to the Untawagba Creek, that one that led from the Rumokoro market, right? That gutter was about more than 10 feet, right? At the end of the day, they did the drainage and through one Tessie road down to the canal. But the entrance, that road, that drainage is 1,200 diameter or 1,500 diameter. And you are now putting the entrance at 900. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Meanwhile, you have water from Nkpolu town. You have the one from the Rumigbo Aziz. You also have the one that used to gather around that Rumakpara Secondary School. You know that place, right? So by the time it comes in, it cannot go immediately. That's why it takes time for when it finishes raining for that water to go, because nobody supervised that job. Now to the drainage. Andrew, there was a day I was in ROSU, River State University, right? It rained seriously, like there was open heaven. Inside that UST, there was no flood at all. And I can bet you we'll go there when it rains. There's no flood at all. Curiosity, I now checked, how come there is no flood here? I now saw that there was serious drainage arrangement. It was well designed. You see steps that take you to the back, what they call it, close to the Eagle Island, right, at the back gate. When you come out from the ROSU, get to UST roundabout, come and see flood. No, I'm telling you.
But no, I know. I'm not saying you're lying, I know.
Now, you don't even know where to put your leg. Meanwhile, you're coming from a school that has an engineering department that have done that. So those who designed that gutter, the one that is supposed to be on the roundabout, where are they from? So what I'm trying to tell you is, who designed our gutter?
JJ, this thing is simple. Go on.
See, let's move from that side to the Obinikwere, where you have the high tension that came from Omoko. There is also a drainage that is supposed to go to Toba River. It was stopped at Rumosi, your neighboring community there. Is this Rumosi or Rumekini? They never allowed it to go through. And tomorrow they will cry, hey, school road, there is this. So why not allow that drainage go through so that things can go well? What is our design for the drainage? Who does the design?
Talking about design, I think we would have to even go and look for the design of the East-West Road and see what is supposed to.
Nobody designed.
So we need to know what is supposed to be on that East-West Road.
If you have a design, what you're saying about the World Bank in Omoya, what they are doing in Onisha, you will see the as-built document. Have you seen any as-built document before?
My brother, thank you. That is why I asked.
Conclusively, the federal government, when it comes to the opening of the Cameroon River, we are supposed to construct a dam, like a coffer dam that will hold back the water that is coming from Cameroon and release it gently. We are not ready.
Go on, please.
Very quickly, I want to say, I agree with you with all that you have said. But I think the attitude of people in the States is my concern. You see a situation where you're not supposed to throw things in the gutter, and people are littering the gutter with debris, bottles and plastics. All those things contribute. And on the part of government, I think government is not being sincere to the people. If you look at it very well, just after your program this morning, just drive through the Amechi Drive. If you drive through the Amechi Drive, You see the work they are doing here.
Magnus, let me ask you a question. Sorry, let me ask you this. How many places, where do you live, Magnus? Mount 3, Abi?
Yes.
When you walk on the road, how many waste bin do you see? I mean, waste bin that if I'm drinking bottled water, I can stop and dump it inside. How many?
There is no one.
Exactly.
No one,
and we have a council that should think about that. We have Riwama that should think about that. If you go to Aba now, my brother, I'm telling you, if you go to Aba now, on almost, before you walk how many meters, you are seeing littered everywhere. You have waste bins, refuse bins to collect. I'm not talking of incinerators, or I'm talking of regular basket waste bins, big ones that they make. You are drinking this, you don't have an excuse why you should drop it on the ground. If you can't find one, you hold it. Before you walk for a few seconds, you see another one in front, you dump it inside. How come a garden city like Port Harcourt, as we claim to call ourselves, and the fast developing city in the Niger Delta, look at Obiakpo all over, you can't find one?
See, Andrew, the government we are in today does not care for the people. Let me be sincere. When we say you're attacking the government, it is not by attacking the government. It's by saying what is the truth. We experienced this clearness in the time of former Governor Chubike Rotimi and that of Dr. Peter Odili. And after that time, nothing happened again. Look at Riwama. They have migrated from doing their private responsibility to be moving from shop to harassing shop owners. Is that the work of Riwama? If you move around the state, there's no waste bin, there's nothing. Go to their office, there's nothing happening there. All the trucks are there are private contractors. Government doesn't have a waste bin truck. They don't have one. Government doesn't have. So it all boils down to leadership. Until we begin to change the trajectory of things in the state. Like I was saying, go to that and make sure that they are constructing that road as we speak. And I can tell you that the gutter on that road is not up to 1 feet. It's not up to. And they are casting using cement. People are manual, they are doing manually. Casting cement on that road. And we all know that place is front-blown area. So when it rains, you can't step your feet. And how do you now cope with that kind of work when rain comes? Just opposite them. Just opposite. On that equivalent, opposite school of health. 1 minute rain, that place will be flooded. You can't pass. Go to the council secretary, Obiakpo council secretary, just opposite the secretary. Now, what is the chairman doing about that particular situation as we speak now? You've mentioned a lot of countries and states that are eager to serve the people. When you come to here in Rivers State, what is Rivers State government doing?
Thank you, Magnus. Let's go to Muriel in Okrika. Also ask, I think the people are also the problem of themselves, because it is still us that will still support some of these people that we know are not doing the work they ought to do. It is still us that will shout praises because they are giving us some stipends, we are getting some small contracts, and so we can't say anything again. After all, the economy runs on politics, so everybody has to observe table manners. Nobody would want to say what they ought to say or do what they ought to do. Whether you are eating or not, say what is right and do what is right. You can't find it. You have people who are not serving the interest of Rivers State for the interest of Rivers State. There are only people serving the interest of Rivers State because of their interest, what they would gain from it. Good morning, Muriel in Okrika. You are our last caller on the show today.
Thank you. Ifiemi, good morning. I'll be very fast.
Okay.
Ifiemi, there are cities in this world that exist and live on water, and they've not been overtaken by this water. Ifiemi, we cannot handle waste the way we were doing it in time past. We need to improve. When I heard there is one documentary I heard, they said even the first plastic they produced is still with us. I think we should not leave waste management system to one person, the sanitation boss alone. We need expatriates. For me, unavoidably, after Lagos is River State, people are migrating into River State every day. I've never seen in my life where people are living under the bridge in River State, but it's happening now. People are living under the bridge. So I think we should call in expatriates to manage our waste. We cannot handle it ourselves. It requires intelligence. And the sanitation board, that appointment is just a political appointment. Nobody can tell me that he went abroad or went anywhere to study waste management. So I think we need expatriates, intelligent People that know how to do, have technical know-how, how to manage this thing.
All right, Muriel, unfortunately, time will not allow us. Even if he did not study or not, I'm sure he is an intelligent man. You can't take it from him. And don't forget, he's an engineer as well. He's an intelligent man. And I think that he knows, if at all he doesn't understand what to do, he knows that there's a place where there are people you can go get that have knowledge about these things that you can work with. So that should not be an excuse or a problem. Go to our water bodies, go to our waterways, go to our jetties, see how dirty they are now. See how dirty they are. See the sight of it. Good morning. We'll take a break and then afterwards, the news at 9. My name is Ifiemi Andrew.